Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Of course, my name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Splatoon Part 11. Yes, I know some of you were privy to seeing Part 11 actually yesterday, and what had occurred there is that there was an audio issue. I'm hoping that that won't be the case today. I'm hoping that everything is sorted out. I think I know what had caused that particular thing to happen, so I do apologize about basically now having one episode that's kind of lost, and I guess there's still a good handful of people that did get a chance to see it, I guess. So hope you guys enjoyed what was there, but at the same time, I'm sorry because the audio was terrible. I just wanted to remove that video, and instead, this will be known as Part 11. So the cool thing is that Splatfest is over. Our team won, which was awesome. Team Dogs all the way, but I have to give it up to Team Cats because they actually won more matches. So they were the more impressive team as a whole. However, there was more members of Team Dogs, and the overall winner somehow ended up being the Dogs. So that was pretty cool. Now, as you'll notice also, we managed to get 16 of a brand new item called I think they're called the Lost Shells or something like that, or the Crystal Shells, something along those lines. And basically using those things, you can recalibrate, goodness gracious, I can't talk, some of your customizable items, which is pretty neat. Like, that's a really, really cool ability that they allow you to have now. I'm sorry that sometimes the camera is shaking so much. Again, I use not touch controls, the gyro pad, so because of that, oftentimes the camera will be shaking because I'm moving my hands as I'm talking, which is something that I always do. Nonetheless, basically what I'm trying to say is that on the bright side, what we get to do today is hopefully play some of the brand new game mode known as Splat Zones. No, it isn't. I guess Splat Zones is currently the active game mode, so we can't really play that, unfortunately. I wanted to try the new game mode, the tower one. I actually have played it once already, and it was a ton of fun. It's very, very chaotic and crazy. So hopefully on the next time that we play Splatoon, that will be up and ready to rock, and I'll be able to share that experience with you guys because it's a really, really fun game mode. I actually am surprised by how much I enjoy it. I think I prefer it to Splat Zones. I think there's just something about the complete chaos of that game mode that is just so much fun and so enjoyable that I really, really, really have a ton of fun with it. So I will stand by that as being my favorite ranked game mode. Now, of course, apart from the ranked game mode, I have to say that my favorite is, of course, not Splat Zones. I almost said Splat Zones by mistake. Turf Wars. Now, here we are. We have Urchin Underpass and Bluefin Depot as our two maps to play through. I'm using a brand new weapon, actually, the ZAPPER, which is, of course, supposed to mimic the Nintendo Zapper. And let's see how that weapon does, because I've never used it before. So hopefully we'll be able to put together a decent performance with that blaster. All right, so it's automatic fire, which is nice. I was a little concerned that it would be like single shot, which usually means terrible things for me because I'm terrible with those weapons. I'm not sure if I particularly care for the coverage of this weapon. It doesn't seem to be covering very well, but I guess the bright side is that the rapid fire is crazy fast. So I do have to admit that that's pretty awesome. What kind of grenade do we have? Oh, okay, just the regular one. That's all cool. I don't mind. Alright, we also have that ability where we can, like, pinpoint where the enemy is and stuff, which is pretty awesome. Here we go. Let's fill all this in. And hop on over to the next one. And then this is where we are going to encounter our foes. Oh, no. Okay, ooh, that could have gone very badly. Could have got hit right there. Luckily, we did not. Boom! Splat it! That's what I'm talking about. Oh, here we go. Oh, I got him. Gotcha. All right, let's do this. Fill all of this up in nice, beautiful ice cream pink. I scream, you scream, everybody screams. Come on. There we go. That grenade hopefully will be able to do quite a bit of damage. Alright, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to actually head up here. Clear all this out. Because I know that that's a very, very, very good idea. Because most of the time, for some reason, a lot of the enemy teams don't pay attention to this area. And you end up getting quite a bit of coverage for free. Or what is essentially free. Whoa! Okay, they've done a lot of cover work over here. Googly moogly. This is terrifying, the amount of stuff they got covered up here. When did they have the time? Wow. Okay, well, this is quite impressive. Here we go. Whoa, look at this. Our entire side is basically covered up by them. All right. I have to admit, I'm impressed. I am very, 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 very impressed. Oh, no. Oh, googly moogly, he got me. All right, that was well done. They are doing a good job of just filling up everything on our side. So I have to admit, that's pretty admirable. But it seems like there's 3 teammates that are taking care of them now. So I'm going to instead head on over here and cover up their side as well. Just kind of returning the favor in that regard. Come on. And just a little bit more. All right. That was a pretty solid performance. I think we got this. Based on what I'm looking at, it looks like a solid victory. 55.3% victory. By the way, some people pointed out to me saying, hey, Blitzwinger, whenever you play Splatoon, those numbers, they don't add up to 100. And the reason why that is the case, guys, is because that percentage shows how much of the map you've covered. So it's out of 100% for the entire map. So obviously, there's very, very little chance that you've covered every tiny little inch of the map. Like every single minuscule area of the map that can be covered has been covered by both teams. So as a result of that, it only counts what is the percentage that your team has covered. In our case, it was 55% of the map was covered by our ink. And then, hey, what is the percentage that the enemy team covered? And then it calculates that out. Okay, they covered 33, you covered 55. So therefore, there you go. There's the final score out of 88% that was covered. There was still 12% that none of us even touched, I guess. And it just said that's the percentage that was covered by the 2 teams for this contest. So that's why the numbers don't add up to 100. Sometimes they will, don't get me wrong. Sometimes they will be out of 100% because the teams have covered most of the area. Usually it happens on the smaller maps, though. Usually it will happen on like Walleye, not underpass, Walleye Warehouse, that's what it's called. That map oftentimes has 100% because there isn't much to the map. It's pretty simplistic and not a very large canvas to play on. Here, the maps are a bit bigger, a bit more intricate, and because of that, you have to deal with an conclusive score. Let's put it that way. So with that in mind, guys, as soon as we find one more competitor, I will cut to that. So we'll see you guys in just a momento. Alrighty, guys, so here we go. The round is just about to begin. Ink, the most turf to win. Urchin Underpass is going to be our area to compete for. So here we go. And I have to admit, I am enjoying the end zapper so far, even though it doesn't look like it because I'm aiming every which way because I was scratching my hand. So I was holding the controller with just one hand there. All right, so here we go. Let's see what a performance we can get out of ourselves. Hopefully it will be just as good, ideally even better, of course, than the performance we just had already put together. Okie dokes. So I'm trying to cover everything up, but looks like I'm constantly low on ink, which isn't particularly fun. There we go. That'll help the teammates to identify where the enemies are. That's what that ability does, by the way, for those of you that didn't know. That is exactly what that power-up does. And let's spray all that down. And now I'm going to head this way, because it doesn't seem to be covered up very well. At least from me looking at the map. Looks like there's lots of points that can be scored. At least maybe not lots, but some. Wait, why is there blue paint over here? That is worrisome. How did the blue paint get over here? That is so strange. That is like really, really peculiar. Come on. Here we go. Oh, he got me with the snipe. All right, classic squiffer? Is that what it's called? All right, here we go. Let's do this. We can swim quickly now across the terrain, which is really nice. There's some missed points. Here we go. All right, our team definitely needs to make a comeback because right now they've got us on lockdown. They really, really do. Like right now, There's very, very little that we can do. Okay, there we go. Let's do this. It's time for a comeback. I'm smelling a comeback. I don't know what it smells like, but I'm smelling it. Okie dokes. Here we go. Throw that down there. Alright, he's gonna come down through up here. So I know that much. So I'm gonna go greet him. Okay, there we go. I've got that enemy. Gotcha. Come on. I really hope my teammates are keeping our area. Ah! No, 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 you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. And... oh, man. Okay, this one's gonna be close. Never mind. I think we got... I think we got this. I'm not sure. There we go. Awesome. 53.2. I mean, it looked pretty good, but then I looked at their side and it looked very well covered as well. So I was like, I'm not sure. This is going to be pretty close. Yes, we got the first place performance as well. Absolutely fantastic with 904 points. That is spectacular. We just leveled up our new shoes. Let's see what we got. I think that's the ink refill time that just upgraded, so that's really nice and convenient. Very, very, very cool indeed. And let's hope we get into another round in a pretty quick manner, because that was pretty ridiculous, the amount of time we had to wait there before. It was like, come on, find one more player. How come there is not one more person that wants to play the game with us? And it just wasn't cool. It was like, what's going on? Like, let's get one more player in here. Then again, I think maybe that's actually an issue. Sometimes it's more difficult to find one player than it is multiple, because oftentimes people are probably playing in a party and multiple people together, so they want to find a match, all of them together. So maybe that's kind of attributes to that. All right, here we go. So we're actually playing on the opposite side this time around. It doesn't really change anything because, of course, the maps are exactly the same. They are duplicated on both sides, and then the middle is the shared space, so to speak, between the two teams. Alright, so I'm going to cover all this up since it looks like nobody on my team wanted to bother with this, so I guess it's going to be our responsibility to fill all this up with paint. A, that helps the team because they can maneuver faster, and B, we're going to score a pretty good bonus from all this stuff. Not bonus, but like a pretty good score, I guess. We're going to score a pretty good score. Makes no sense. We're going to put together a pretty good score. That's what I should have said. Because we are filling up all this stuff, which is going to hopefully pay off. Uh-oh. They just use an ink strike. Come on. Let's do this. Oh, googly moogly. Constantly running out of ink. Come on. There we go. Where is my team playing? I really hope so, because I don't see any of them like running by me or anything. Maybe they're all oh, there we go. There's a teammate. Or maybe they're all that amazing. That's certainly a possibility as well, which would be a great problem to have. I really hope that it's that problem. That all of them are so good that they have yet to even be splatted, so that whole time, that was the issue. Alright, here we go. Gotcha. Alright. Let's see. Here we go. And let me fill that up. Googly moogly. I can't believe I'm doing all this. I've never played this much on our own terrain. Usually I'm the one that's like aggressive and trying to go after the enemies. Uh-oh. Well, now I understand why I've been playing like this, because it seems like they filled up basically the entire map except for our side. So this really stinks, because I put so much work into filling all this up, and then now they just come in and they absolutely destroy us. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, that's not looking good. I mean, the good side is that I guess our team is doing well. Like, our team is doing good stuff away from our base, which is pretty awesome, I do have to say. So for that, I do have to be pretty happy, I guess. Can't be too sour about that. All right, let me just fill all this back up, or at least as much of it as I possibly can. Okay. I'm pretty sure they got this. Look at that. I mean, they did so much better in coverage. That is crazy. Wow, 48.8. That is absolutely craziness. Well, we're not going to give up. We're going to do one more round here. We'll put together the second best performance, which is pretty shocking because I felt like we played very, very well because we were covering so much of our own terrain. But then when I think back to it, I didn't really focus on covering a lot of the terrain. I just focused more so on covering it well, which probably was partially the downfall. Maybe I should have focused a little bit more on just trying to cover as much of it as possible instead of verifying and making sure that I cover even the tiniest of areas very well. So I'm going to probably change that up for this round. I'm going to just kind of go for trying to cover as much of the terrain as possible instead of focusing how well we cover it. So just kind of fire off in all directions. Already, I already like the approach by the team here. I like it a lot because we've already got some lovely momentum going. So like something like this, you know, where I'm not nearly as focused on how well I'm covering everything, but more so on just covering it. Oh, come on! I couldn't even turn around that quickly. He just shoots me ZZOJ. Come on. That orange juice player was dangerous, that's for sure. I like the orange and blue. That definitely looks really cool. Like the combo of when those two colors fight each other. There's something pretty cool about that. Oh, come on! Why can't I take out one of them? That is ridiculous. Come on, and Blaster or Zapper. Come on, Nintendo Zapper. Gotta be able to get a few splats. Okay, stop focusing on covering up all the regular areas. Focusing on instead. That is ridiculous. I keep getting taken out by the same guy. It's always this guy. How is he so good? I'm letting rage mode get to me. I know a lot of people love the rage mode. A lot of people, except for me, can't stand the rage mode. Because when he gets to me, it's like, come on. Here we go. Let's throw that out there. Let's do this. Here we go. Finally. You have got to be kidding me. Did he really just do that trick? Okay, there we go. I was about to go rage mode over there. That is ridiculous. Alright, there we go. Now we've got our eyes on them. We know where they are at all times. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up there. Gotcha. He's going to come back. I know it. Because he's going to want revenge. So, just fill all this in. Okay. Here we go. Let's do this. And cover up as much of it as possible. And I don't know who wins. I really don't, because look how much of our area they have. Awesome. Perfect. All right. I mean, that was close, though. It felt much closer than that. Like, statistically, I know that we dominated, but it didn't feel like it, that's for sure. 868 points is our grand total. We came in second place with a brand new weapon. I don't mind that whatsoever. We also do get to rank up both our hat, and our vest or jacket, I guess would be the more correct term. which is fantastic. Very, very, very happy about that. But before we end off today's episode, as we are already, by the way, level 14, which is awesome, I'm going to go ahead and head into the shops here, into the stores. I was going to say stores, then shops. That's why I said shops. So let's see. What do we want to purchase for our next weapon? This looks really cool. What is that? Can we get some info on it? Similar to the 52 gal, but with an improved mechanism and a more stable shot. Range and power have been increased at the cost of being even more ink hungry. Okay. So this thing runs out of ink very quickly, which is probably not very good for me because I usually have a problem with that anyways. I kind of want to try a more close combat thing, but okay, let's go for this. Let's try this one out. We'll try this one for the next time. All right, so there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Splatoon. I also do apologize once again about the Splatoon Fast or Splatfast episode. I really, really am sorry that it ended up having like glitchy audio and stuff. Yeah, I apologize. That's basically all I can say. As always, guys, have an absolutely fantastic day. I hope to see you lovely folks here next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.